Hello, welcome. Happy Monday to everyone. Welcome to the Black Business Association's first webinar in our BBA Against Hate webinar series. I'm your host, Sarah Harris. I'm President and CEO of the Black Business Association, and it is an honor for you to join us today for this timely and important discussion. And for more than 50 years, the Black Business Association has had a loud, steady voice of diversity, equity, and inclusion. For more than 50 years, the BBA has created platforms for the world to see the brilliance and innovation of Black businesses at work. For more than 50 years, the BBA has spread the gospel of peace while never bowing down to hate. And we aren't going to start now. Like many others, we have taken notice of the hate plaguing our city and country, and we are well aware of the anti-racist policies being enacted to disrupt and deter the momentum and progress of people of color that have made and continue to make. We too are concerned about the rhetoric, lies, doubt, the conspiracy theories being espoused by people masquerading as leaders. But more importantly, we are invigorated in our stance to help create better environments, both in the community and in the workplace, for our members to conduct business on a level playing field. We have more to say on this, and we invite you to visit our website to check out our entire statement on this thing here. It is, we have much to say, and we hope that you do take the time to visit our website. You just simply go to programs and then hit BBA Against Hate to check out the rest of our statement. But today, I'm so happy to have joining us is Curtis Silvers, is Executive Vice President at Brotherhood Crusade. We welcome and thank you, partners in the community, for joining us in this discussion. One of the reasons why we're having them here today is because this is United Against Hate Week in Los Angeles. This is with a group that is called, LA versus Hate. And I want to bring in that so you could see it. It's LA versus Hate, and they are a program that is a community-driven approach to empower all residents of Los Angeles County to unite against, report, and resist hate. So without further ado, I want to bring in this gentleman. He is an established leader with years of achieving sustainable results in the private and nonprofit sectors. And he is always great at seeing the big picture and builds effective networks. And he's doing such a wonderful job over at Brotherhood Crusade. Let's welcome in Curtis Silvers. Hello, Curtis. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for inviting us. And on behalf of our President and CEO, Sharice Bremond Weaver, we are excited to participate and be a part of the series, especially the series about talking about hate and anti-hate in our communities. So we're looking forward to participating, looking forward to the discussion.
Wonderful. Thank you. I wanted to say that we are in partnership with our weekly newspaper as well, and their Stop the Hate campaign. So I did want to mention that we are partnering with our weekly on this discussion. And one of the reasons why we're interested in joining them is because we also wanted to address things from a business perspective of how hate, racist policies, racism, all that can affect Blacks in business. So we want to thank you, Our Weekly, for that partnership. But we'll return to that, but let's get back to LA versus Hate program. Can you tell us why Brotherhood Crusade decided to get involved with this program?
Well, yes, Brotherhood Crusade was founded in 1968, and we've been in this community working for the folks of South Los Angeles and Greater Los Angeles for about 54 years. And when we were founded to really fight, to help folks fight hate, racism, to call out prejudices that we saw, and inequity in the communities. And that's really been our mantra, then also helping people help themselves for the last 54 years. In 2012, Brotherhood Crusade was one of the founding partners of the Hate Violence Prevention Partnership that came out of the LA County Commission on Human Rights. And we've been a real active part along with our other partners, but really supporting the initiatives and the programs of the Hate Violence Prevention Partnership, or the HVPPLA as they call it, in the community. And not only through our connections with the Hate Violence Prevention Partnership, we have also been very active and involved with the South LA Building Healthy Communities Group, which is what came out of or funded by the California Endowment, really in their upcoming campaigns of talking about the anti-Blackness that's happening, the anti-hate speech that we're seeing all throughout the country, but candidly in Los Angeles, in City Hall chambers or outside of City Hall chambers. But and so we're very active in that. We're very supportive of the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles, and we're really active in their stand against hate candle lighting ceremony that happens every December, where Brotherhood Crusade is a partner, and we're out in the community talking about anti-hate, anti-citizenship, anti-Blackness, and all the offshore dues. So we've been very much involved, and almost, I would say, involved in our history, right? We were against the Hate Against the Women campaign, because Brotherhood Crusade founded a shelter for battered women, and we converted a neighborhood house into a care center, right? And today, the Genesee Center is a model for the country in addressing domestic violence. Brotherhood Crusade was also on the front line against hate against the LGBT community. Many years ago, Brotherhood Crusade founded the groundbreaking Minority AIDS Project, which has become a national model. So, we've been on the forefront about anti-hate stuff, looking at injustices, seeing what we can do to help correct the course. So it's been part of our mantra, I would say, for ever since our founding in 1968.
Yes, you can tell in terms of, especially with all your programs, that you can tell it's at the core of motivation for what you do. I was noticing one of the programs was a restorative teen justice restorative teen justice courts. The path to justice runs through equity, ending anti-Black racism in Los Angeles. I mean, you have these programs that even start with our youth on that. And so many of what you do, it starts from training up our youth in the right ways in many different manners, from teaching them about racist practices to also mentoring for training, job skills, and financial literacy and everything like that. So I can tell that it is definitely your mantra and at the core of what Brotherhood Crusade does.
Well, yes, and even to take it a step further with that, we have had several healing circles with the Los Angeles Police Department. Several of the different police chiefs have been a part of it, where we will bring the officers in, sometimes in plain clothes, sometimes in their uniform, to talk to our young people about the relationship to repair the sometimes anti-police relationship that may be out there, the anti or the dislike, and try to break down that anti-dislike and anti-hate that maybe candidly the police force might even have for members of our community. And we all try to bring both sides together to have a conversation, and it's really targeted through our social justice and our racial justice youth development programs. So that's just another way that Brotherhood Crusade is really in the fight, not only for this week, while we'll be doing this week against, United Against Hate Week, but we continually to do it all year round, and even include it in some of our curriculum that we work with our young people on.
Are there any particular activations, activities, and what have you that you're planned for this week to coincide with the United Against Hate Week?
Well, we have really three that come to mind. We're going to participate, like with other organizations, in a Twitter storm starting, although we've been doing it already, but there's a major Twitter storm on tomorrow, November 15th, where Brotherhood Crusade every 2 or 3 hours will be putting out something in our three social media outlets, our Facebook, our Instagram, Twitter, just educating, re-educating, reminding people of what's happening this week, but also what's happening next week and in the month of March and April, when maybe it's not we're not focusing on the anti-hate,
right,
but it goes on all 12 months, right? So we're doing that. We have a big Thanksgiving family giveaway this Friday at Elgin Sutton Park, November 18th, where we'll be servicing about 1,000 people. So in the bags and in the toy bags and the food bags that the residents will be receiving, they'll also be receiving stuff about what to do if you feel that crime or a hate incident or specific hate language is directed at you, your child, your family. And we'll be also doing that. And then, as I mentioned, our mentors this week in our curriculum, our Proud to Be Me curriculum, our curriculum that we help train our young people on and our different programs. They're going to do some sessions and some, lesson plans about anti-hate, and they're going to talk to the young people about the different types of hate violence. They're going to talk to them about who is most impacted by hate violence in Los Angeles. They're going to talk to them about victim rights and reporting and hate and health, and how candidly hate and the belief of hate, is not good. Martin Luther King said he's not going to worry about hate. He said hate takes too much time, takes too much energy. I'm going to put my focus on love and understanding, right? And that's also some of the things that we're going to talk to our young people about. While we talk to them about it all year round, but this week we're going to add some special workshops and courses into our training, into our sessions with our young folks.
Wonderful. And indeed, too, with regards to putting out information and just pressing on the ways to fight against hate, the BBA will also be participating with that as we push out some more content in terms of what we're doing on that. So we look forward to seeing what you post as well. And you started to talk about, like, there's a question I have. If you're an individual who you yourself or someone who has been a victim of hate, what would you recommend them do? I know that the LA versus Hate campaign is they are promoting to dial 211. I guess that's a source of help. Is there anything that you would add to that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think if you're a victim of hate, definitely to dial 211. It's a sad thing to really realize that, but probably every African American, Latino, person of color, of different faiths, right? They have been hated, gangbanged on, let's say, for the sake of the word, in their lifetime. It could have been subtle. I think some of the things in my lifetime, certain remarks at school, or certain remarks in the community, or certain remarks in your first corporate job that you think that's like, did I hear what they said? But maybe at 22, 23, 24, you brush it off, right? So I think that, because there was one thing, because when I was reading our notes preparing for this, I said, wow, have I ever been a victim of hate, be it direct or indirect? And you're like, yeah, having people drive by and yell out of the car, or make a gesture, or say a bad word, or say the N word. And you're like, wow, that's uncalled for, right?
Yeah.
And when I was younger,
even the subtle one can be worse than just the blatant, over the top incidences that you have. And sometimes, like you just said, you almost feel like, is it me? Or, did that really happen? I know for me, when growing up, I remember that we lived in Hawaii when we were younger. And even though Tongans and Samoans were a big group of people that lived in Hawaii. And so, for me, I'm fair complected, right? But they are usually darker than me, right? I have a sister who is darker than me, but it was just funny in terms of the perception of Black people that they were calling us black chicks, and it was just really in a derogatory way. I had that, and of course I've had where following around the store, kind of thing, and stuff like that. And so these incidences, they really have a marking on your entire life. And so for me, I feel as though this is just an eternal struggle of our human frailty that we have, that it really essentially won't ever go away, but we just have to continue to work to progress, to overcome it. Is there anything in particular that you were trying to call in your personal experiences that may have happened with you?
Well, I think, well, first off, let me back up. When I was young, right, my mother always taught me, and she said, hate is a learned behavior, and no one is born hating against another person for their color of their skin, or their background, their religion. And while I understand that and respect that, sometimes when you would have these little, I think just last week, driving in Atwater Village, right? Someone honked and put up the finger and leaned out the car, and racial epithets, right? And I'm sitting there just driving, probably, trying to get to my next appointment. And it's like, wow, really? Now, maybe the younger me might have been a little bit more upset and may have shouted something back, or, raced up a little bit on the side of him,
right,
or behind him. But, being a little bit older now, and you start to think, and you're like, wow, okay, if I did that, what could be the reaction? And then why am I acting on this person when it's not worth it? And
right
now, as like I said, I'm a little bit older, more seasoned now, and that you can quickly make that assessment and just let it roll off, right? But one of the things that we help with our young people right now, while that happened to me, that probably happens to them all the time, or if they're in a store and things like that. And young people, their fuse is much quicker.
Yes.
They're more angry. They're more angry at the system. They can go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly. So, but we also know as we are mentoring them, we also talk to them about there's different ways that they can express themselves. That if someone does something bad, they don't necessarily have to come back and, show hate, show violence on that person, right?
Right.
And then sometimes we get in some real good philosophical conversations with these 15, 12, 15, 16-year-olds.
They'll surprise you. Yeah.
Yeah, that will surprise you. And, even sometimes you might want to say, well, when I was their age, I might have agreed with that, but I'm not their age, and then I see things differently, right?
Right.
But yeah, those things happen. I think when you sit back, the subtle hatred and racism, I've seen it from being 11 up until now, almost, in the late 50s, right? So.
Right, indeed. From a perspective of the BBA's history, of course, Skip Cooper, who's now our chairman, but the longest serving president, dear person in the community that has long tentacles and touches in terms of bringing cultures together, has instrumental in helping with starting the association, the Asian Business Association, as well as working with the Latin Business Association, and also in terms of faiths, different faiths and different peoples of culture. And so the BBA has always continued to strive to work within the community of a diverse set of people while still championing Black achievement, Black excellence. And so one of the things I wanted to approach with this and discuss was in the ways that anti-hate and racist policies such as redistricting, loan discrimination, and all the like. You were seeing that now the Supreme Court is looking into affirmative action, all these kinds of things. What, from a business perspective, how would you recommend we advance the anti-hate message on matters that impact business relations and growth?
Well, we could philosophically talk about that for a couple hours, right? But I think some of the things that come to light for me and from, dealing with in the community and working with friends who are in business, it's kind of some simple stuff, right? And since we're talking about this week, right? There's a poster, United Against Hate has developed a poster. And I would really encourage everyone, all the BBA constituents, partners, find where you can get that poster. You can pick that poster up, it can be sent, you can download it, and put it in your place of business. So not only does everyone see that this business does not believe in hate and we're anti-hate and we don't promote this craziness, right? I would also try to get some of your customers and your clients to almost do the same thing. Because just simple, if we all of a sudden have 10,000 people this week or for this month of November in Los Angeles with these simple posters, either in their businesses, in their windows, wherever. Just imagine the 10,000 touches and how many people see those 10,000 posters, and then you just multiply and say, "Wow, you know what? We've touched probably almost 500,000 people by them just walking by or looking at our website or walking by Esalen bookstores, and they see something like that in." Even if it's a 5-second look, it just makes them think about it, right? I would definitely make sure that the businesses promote this week on their social media and really talk about their connection to this. Now and then almost something is just as I say simple, but if some of our businesses don't have something in their handbook talking about anti-hate, anti-racism, anti-stuff. I think a section should be added into our employee handbooks that you're joining a company that does not promote this. And handbook section 7, number B tells you that we don't promote this. Almost to the fact that if we catch you going against our handbook or doing something that's anti-hate, anti-racist, or that's hateful, racist, all that,
from the beginning, set the tone as to what is expected and what we, as a company, our business, where we stand on the matter. Like, let it be known from the beginning, and then everybody will be on the same page, right?
Well, yeah. Hopefully, everybody will be on the same page. And if my job was connected to it, and I broke a rule in the handbook for some
that's motivation
that I might do outside of work, I would think twice, right? And I would encourage the businesses. My hope. When I go on the BBA's website and I see your posts, your comment about hate, anti-hate, right? But I would love to see all the other businesses that are members of BBA, members of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce, that their leaders do the same thing, right? Write a blog, send something out, do a constant contact post of this is how we feel and how we see it. Because the more and more that we talk about it and we get it out, just those simple educational outreaches and touches helps to inform our community, help inform our customers, our clients, and candidly, it might bring you additional clients and customers who say, wow, their mission and their value proposition is like mine, and I'll do business with this type of company.
Right. I wanted to also take this opportunity to stress what will be one of the priorities of the Black Business Association is regarding advocating for Black representation. One of the major ways to combat racist thoughts, racist behavior, racist attitudes towards different people, a group of people, is to make them understand, get more images out of the contributions, the innovations, the excellence that has taken place within the Black community. We take many steps forward in progress, and then oftentimes we're getting knocked back 3, 4, 5 steps. But we continue to make the progress. And within that, there are many, many stories to be told that set the example of what our people have to contribute, who we are, what we have to offer. The most simplest way to understand that is like when we get excited about Wakanda forever, it's just, it brings us, it warms the cockles of our heart, right? Because we see that there is brilliant and excellence within our people, and we take that to heart. You have people crying. I ain't giving away the movie, but you have people crying in the beginning because of what it was expected and what that represents and stuff. So that's like the low-hanging fruit, where we see what's in our movies, television, and all of the entertainers and stuff. But we have brilliant, innovative thinkers, we have inventors, we have business people, we have entrepreneurs, we have educators, we have justices. It runs the gamut in terms of what we show that we can do. And the more that we keep those examples in the forefront, the more it reminds people that, okay, this flood of dollars coming in seems as goodwill. Okay, no, it doesn't stop, because it took a long time to devastate a community. It's going to take a long time to repair it. And so I just want to keep that in the forefront in terms of what the BBA does is advocating for Black representation. To me, I feel like that's a way to combat hate as well.
And I think you're absolutely right. And the BBA has a history of doing that, not under your leadership and your helm that you're taking it to the next level. But when Skip was there, he also preached that. But you're right. I mean, it's a part of the BBA's DNA, and it's been a part of your DNA since the organization was founded, though, over 40, maybe was it 40 years or 50 years? But
it's been 52 years.
I was thinking, I think the BBA,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, came shortly right after when Brotherhood Crusade was founded in 1968. Yeah.
So, you know, we continue to stand with you and others, our community allies in the fight against hate. And I applaud the Brotherhood Crusade. I was looking at the program page, a list of programs there. Oh my goodness, it goes on and on and on. But that's what you guys are about. You're doing the work, and I applaud you for that. In closing today, is there anything else that we wanted to announce or leave with? You can. I know that tomorrow you have an Airbnb, you partner with Airbnb on the Academy there, and then you also have an upcoming gala. Anything you want to touch on that?
Well, yeah, we continue to do a lot in the community, and as our CEO, President Sharice Bremond Weaver, really believes in putting our community and our young people first. So all the things that we do is really for the betterment of our community and for our young folks. But tomorrow, for example, Crusade is partnering with Airbnb, putting on this entrepreneurial workshop. It's virtual. And thank you. I want to thank the BBA for getting it out to your members and to your networks. But it's just a chance for some of the people in the community to understand from an entrepreneurial aspect of how they could get involved with Airbnb, how they can make candidly extra income, additional income streams. What does that look like? Oh, yes, I don't have a house, but if I have an apartment, or do I have a room at my mother's house or a room, how can I still take advantage of the Airbnb platform? And candidly, and you can, right? So those are some of the things that we're doing. And Airbnb has invested in the South Los Angeles community, not only with Brotherhood Crusade, but with other nonprofits and other institutions. So this is just a way to bring knowledge. Then on Friday, our big Thanksgiving grab and go, where it's going to be at Elgin Sutton Park, 88th and Hoover. And we encourage family members. It's a drive-by in your car, but come, line up soon. If you go to our website, you will get some information. Or if anybody wants to call our office at 323-846-1649. That's 323-846-1649 to find out more information about our upcoming turkey, our holiday food and toy drive that's happening Friday. Please do so. And then on December 9th, our 54th annual Pioneer of African American Achievement Dinner, which we had 2 years of a hiatus due to, candidly, COVID, right? But now we're back, and we are at 99% of a sellout. The honoree this year is Mookie Betts, Los Angeles Dodgers All-Star and Major League All-Star and philanthropist. The work that Mookie has done, not in our community, but also the community of Tennessee, where he grew up, and even still in Massachusetts, where he played for the Red Sox in his early career. He does a lot from a philanthropy side, and is a great opportunity for us to recognize and to uplift Mookie for the work that he's done. So, those are the things. And then we take a break. Then we have Martin Luther King holiday. We walk into Black History Month, and then we keep it going.
Keep it going. It never stops, does it? The work keeps going, but I've been feeling that you love it. I think I see you, and you just always have the best smile and just the warmest of appearance and attitude towards whenever I see you. So I just kind of think that you're a man that's living in terms of his passion and what he wants to do. So thank you so much for joining us again. I want to say this is United Against Hate Week in LA, and it is through the 19th, and you can find more information at LAversushate.org. All right.
And one more plug, not plug, but if you want to know, like, for example, what to do if you're a victim of hate or you know somebody, go to the Hate Violence Prevention Partnership, or hvppla.org, as well as you could probably go to United Against Hate. But if you go to that website, you can print out a card called Know Your Rights, and you can print out a little document that you can keep with you, or have, or save it, download it to your computer, just to know, or put it in your glove compartment, right, in your car, that if anything ever happens, here are the rights, and this is what a hate crime is. This is what hate violence is, language, and they give you some information to say, if this happens, then you do this. If this happens, then you do that. So it's a great resource if you go to the hate violence.
That website one more time.
Well, it's the hate violence. Oh, okay. Well, I think their website.
Did you give it? I thought you gave me a website. What is it? Hate what?
Well, I think it's the Hate Violence Prevention Partnership Los Angeles. So it's hvppla.org.
Okay. So let's see here. I'm trying to add that to the screen so people can see it. Sometimes it helps. hvppla.org. Hate Violence Prevention
Partnership Los Angeles.
Partnership Los Angeles. Okay. Wonderful information. Great stuff. Everybody, I'm encouraged that for the most part, people want to get along. People want to love one another. People want to celebrate diversity and all that it is, and live together in it. We just have to keep combating against those who want to wreck it and can't get with it for whatever reason. But we just keep working at it, and we're stronger together. And through love and compassion, we can do this. I mentioned it before, but I love your "I am a man" sign in the back.
Yeah, that was from a youth march that we did. When did we do it? About several months ago. So we were having different signs, and so yeah, it was great.
Wonderful. All right, so we leave you now today to enjoy the rest of your Monday. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for our next show. We're going to do this monthly. Our next one will be in January on the 19th, where we'll have Daryl Brown, who is a retired banker, but he's also a consultant and very passionate about this subject. So we look forward to speaking with him. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Again, Curtis, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sarah.